Hello, hello, hello. It's Thursday evening here in England, and thank you very much for joining me if you're here, and if you're watching me on catch up, thank you for joining me wherever you are and whatever time it is. Today we're going to talk about the Quadratus Lumborum muscles in your lower back. So if you have any lower back discomfort or any tension there at all, then this is the video for you. But before we continue, you know the drill. If you are watching, please give me a thumbs up or a little heart to let me know you're there, or drop a comment in the box just to let me know where you are listening or watching from, because I'd love to hear from you. So thank you for that. Okay, also, if you're following along today, you're going to need one of these. So if you haven't got one to hand, run and grab one. Or if you are watching later on, press stop and go and grab a tennis ball, because you're going to need this for today's practice. But before we do that, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the Quadratus Lumborum, what on earth they are. They are two little muscles in your back. They start at the top of the pelvis, and they go up to the bottom of the rib cage, and they also attach into your spine as well. And not to be confused with the quadriceps, which are in your legs. So Quadratus Lumborum, or shortened to QLs. If you ever hear anyone talking about, I've got really tight QLs, this is what we're talking about, right? So you'll probably hear me talking about QLs today. So what do? They are attached to the pelvis, they're attached to the rib cage and the spine, so they are responsible for lateral flexion, so side bending, like so. Yeah, there's obviously lots of other muscles involved in doing this, but this is one of the things that the QLs do. And they are also responsible for hiking the hip, lifting the hip up. Yeah, again, as well as lots of other muscles, but this is what we're talking about specifically today. So anything you do, like bending down to pick something up or stretching to reach something, you're probably using these muscles. And because of their positioning on the spine and because of their connections, actually when you're just sitting for really long periods of time, or even standing for really long periods of time, they can just be contracting all the time, working all the time. So this is why they get fatigued, and this is why people have low back pain or low back tension. Well, there's lots of reasons for it, obviously, but tight or overworked QLs can be a reason for this. And that's just in your daily lives. Now, I know a lot of you watching, I think probably most of you watching, are belly dancers. And our QLs, because of their responsibility for lateral flexion, obviously as belly dancers we like to do lots of beautiful side bending movements, which they get involved in, but something even more basic than that are our simple hip lifts, yeah? So when we hold our rib cage still in space, and then we start to move our hips like this, our pelvis is moving like this, this is actually lateral flexion of the lower part of the spine. So it's your Quadratus Lumborum. Again, think how many hip lifts you do, belly dancers. Oh my God, like these guys are working overtime. So they are often gonna need a little bit of relief. I like to think about doing my hip work as much as I can from the front of the body for this reason, mainly because the muscles in the back are pretty overworked with everything else we do with them. I don't believe personally that you can isolate one particular muscle for your hip work or for any other belly dance move. I think your body's too efficient for that. But I do believe that if you place the focus somewhere, it can, you know, it can bring the energy there, at least I feel. But that's for another video. We are talking about Quadratus Lumborum. If you have a sore or tight, tense low back, what can we do? Well, before I tell you, I can see loads more people have jumped on here, which is really awesome. If you have just jumped on, please give me a little thumbs up. Give me a little heart symbol if you are enjoying the video. Please pop a comment in and let me know where you are and where you are watching from today. And any questions you may have, I would be very happy to answer them as well. I have time today. So going back to how we can release our low back. A couple of weeks ago, I did a video on forwards folds, which I have put a link to in the caption for this video, so you can go and have a look at that afterwards. Forwards folds are fantastic for releasing the low back. So that's tip number one. But this guy is what we're going to do today. I'm going to come back onto the mat, and disclaimer, if you have any spinal issues or if you have chronic back pain, please, please, please don't do this right away. I would highly recommend talking to your doctor, to your physical therapist, whoever it is you go and see, first of all, before doing any of this. But if you have a fairly healthy back, maybe just a little bit of tension that you need to release, a little bit of soreness, then give it a go and go mindfully, okay? We're not going to place this in our spine or in our vertebrae. Very, very important, yeah? Please promise me that. Okay, thank you. Right, so I'm going to lie down on my back, and I'm going to place the ball, oh, it's run away from me, quite close to the spine, but not too close, but not too far out either, yeah? So remember where I said it connects, it's the pelvis up to the rib cage, but it's also connecting into the spine. So, and I'm going to lie gently, 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 using my core muscles to control onto the tennis ball. So you might not feel anything just yet. Hopefully you can still hear me now I'm lying down here. Just take a moment to allow your body to release into the ball. You might find that you are resisting lying on it properly. So take a couple of breaths here before moving on. And feel free to stay in this position if you already feel like there's a little bit of tension there that you want to release. So now I'm going to take the same knee as the side that the tennis ball is on. So remember, I'm on one side of the spine, I'm close to the spine but not too close, and I'm just going to hug that knee very, very slowly in. And as you move that knee towards you, it's going to stretch out the QL on that side, and the tennis ball should be able to get a little bit deeper in there. So really breathing in there, going as slow as you need to. Nice long deep breaths. And when you found a point, I want to say it's kind of like a sticky spot. So there might feel like some tension. It might feel a little bit sore to go there. Gently breathe for a count of about 10 or 5 long breaths. And you'll probably find at the end of that time that it will have released a little bit, and you perhaps can bring your knee in a little bit closer towards you. And then maybe take another few breaths just to allow that to release a little bit. And then gently coming out of it, you can move it into another position, a little bit higher up or a little bit lower down. Remember, it's not a very big muscle, yeah? So it's only from your pelvis up to the bottom of your rib cage and just alongside the spine. So it's not going to need loads of work, but I'm just going to switch to the other side of the spine. So if you're following along, you can do it with me. Again, not too close to the spine, but make sure you're on the muscle nonetheless. Take a moment to allow the body to sink into the ball. A couple of deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, bringing the same side knee slowly in towards you. I'm contracting my abdominal muscles as well for a little bit of extra support. And again, just taking it to a point where it might feel a little bit tender. Breathing through that for, again, about a count of 10 or 5 long breaths in and out. And hopefully the tenderness should release a little bit and you can take it a little deeper. Let's just do one more set of breathing in and out. And again, you might want to move it to another position on the same side after you've done that. But you don't want to see me lying on the floor all evening, so I'm going to very slowly come up with control. Okay, hopefully that felt awesome. If you haven't done it yet, please feel free to go off after you've done the video and give it a go. If you don't have a tennis ball to hand, highly recommend finding one because these guys are so invaluable for all sorts of muscle release. If you haven't yet given me a thumbs up or a little heart, please do so. Please give me a little comment to let me know that you are watching and where you're from. And also, if you have liked this video, you could share it with a friend, or perhaps tag a friend who you think might be benefiting from this work. So remember, I know most of you out there are belly dancers, but if you're not a belly dancer, remember this is for everybody. If you sit at a desk all day, or you do lots of driving, or even if you're standing all day, like most of us at some point feel a little bit of tension in our low back. So this exercise with the tennis ball is fantastic to release that. And one last thing, I've also popped a link to my mailing list in the comments as well. If you don't want to miss any of my live videos, if you are really enjoying this content, please add yourself to my list and I'll send out some links as well. So if you missed the live video and you don't see an announcement, then you'll get it in your inbox as well. And yeah, I think that's it. I don't think I've had any questions. I'm not sure if I can see. Where are we? Scrolling through. Oh, a couple of people saying hi. Hi, Carla. Hi, Tara. Thank you for watching. Carla's on the bus. She was just in class with me 2 minutes ago. Cool. All right. So no questions. In that case, I'm going to let you get on with your evenings. Have a lovely evening. Have a lovely weekend. And I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.